Welcome. My name is Caesar, creator of EyeOnMetrics. I'm here to walk you through this easy-to-use student performance tracking app for your classroom. EyeOnMetrics allows teachers in any grade or subject to manage observation lists and track individual student performance metrics in real time. This is a helpful tool for storing evidence of concerns, praises, absences, and important student notes in the classroom over the course of the semester or school year. Let's get started with getting to know a few things about this app. EyeOnMetrics is an HTML code that runs on the Chrome web browser. You will need internet access to run the app properly with Google Chrome. If you have an Apple product, you must be able to run Chrome in order to run the app. Also, EyeOnMetrics is multi-platform. It will work on a desktop, laptop, tablet, or cell phone that is running Chrome. With this said, the app is designed to run on only one device. That means that the data you entered is stored on that device's local internet cache folder. EyeOnMetrics will not share data with other devices running the same program, so it is recommended that you use and maintain only one device to run and store your data. Let's run EyeOnMetrics. Once you have downloaded the EyeOnMetrics file, open it with Chrome and make sure you are connected to Wi-Fi so that the user interface loads correctly. Otherwise, the home screen will not load with the proper graphics. Remember, you are not uploading your data to the web. Your data will be stored on your device. It is recommended to use a device with sign-in credentials or a screen lock so that your app data is not accessible by others except you. Adding observation lists or classes. This is the EyeOnMetrics home screen. Start by pressing the Add New Observation List button and give it a name. This can be a class, period, or any name for a group of students. We will use the example Period 1 Grade 10 Woodworking as a name for our first observation list and press Save. If you teach multiple classes, you can add more observation lists. Let's add 2 more lists. For example, Grade 12 Physical Education and Grade 9 History. You could also set up the observation list by groups of students instead of entire classes. For example, if your class is split up into discussion or activity groups, you can create multiple observation lists, each with their own title, like Group 1, Group 2, Group 3, and so on. Or use names for each group, like Group Alex, Martha, Kyle, and Group Ayan, Jessica, Elizabeth. Note that you can rearrange the order of your observation lists at any time by tapping the up and down buttons on the left side of each list. You can click on the Edit tab for an observation list and edit its name at any time, then tap Save. Adding students to your observation lists or classes. Once you have all your observation lists set up, you are ready to add students. Remember to observe the privacy of student information. Avoid using full names or use alternate wording for each student's identity. Please refer to your school board's policy for how to handle personal information on software and devices. Additionally, I recommend you use a sign-in or authentication feature as stated earlier for any device running EyeOnMetrics, so that unauthorized people cannot access the information you enter and use. Names can be added in 2 ways. You can add names individually by tapping the Add Name button on an observation list. The app automatically alphabetizes each name you enter. You can also add multiple names at once by tapping the Batch Add button and copy and pasting a list of names imported from another app. Name lists are separated by a new line. You can add as many names to as many observation lists as you need. Customizing metrics. Now that we have our classes and students, let's enter customizable metrics for each class. This app allows you to customize your own observation metrics, up to 4 concern type metrics and 4 praise type metrics. Tap the Metrics button on each observation list and you can edit any or all of the 8 metrics. Note that the orange-colored metrics are areas of concern, and green-colored metrics are areas of praise or goal achievement. Since I teach shop class, the default metrics relate to tool use and task completion. But to make EyeOnMetrics work for you, change these default metrics to those best suited to your classroom and curriculum objectives. Consider concerns like distracted by phone or improper use of class time for orange metrics buttons, and phrases like engages in discussions or homework completed for green metrics buttons. Once you have configured your observation metrics for each class, tap Save Changes to return to the home screen. Remember, metrics cannot be customized from student to student, but they can be fully customized and different for each observation list that you create. Tracking performance data. Once your class is in session, you're able to open, close, and reopen EyeOnMetrics at any time to enter observational data. This app works best when you spot individual difficulties or successes in the classroom dynamic, whether it be during activities, collaborations, hands-on labs, or more routine tasks like completing written work or reading. If you spot a student showing difficulty in the classroom, simply tap the student's name to call up the metrics screen. Here you can tap the appropriate concern, which will log a counter of the event. Likewise, if you spot commendable effort from a student, you can click on the name and tap the appropriate exemplary metric button and log a counter of that event. Here are some key features of the metrics screen. You can log when a student is absent by tapping on the Absent from Work button. This can help evaluate student achievement given missed instructional or performance days. Next, you can add brief notes for any student during class, like documenting details of an injury, a rescheduled test, or a praiseworthy note on a student's success that day. Also, the trends graph is an evolving visual indicator at the bottom of the metrics screen. The more data counters are entered for a student, the greater the trend patterns of performance can be observed at a glance. This is especially useful to set targets for performance goals or thresholds to prompt conversations with the student or parent about specific concerns or praises. Lastly, if you long press on any data button in the metrics screen, you will get a timestamp list of every time you observe the data parameter. If you ever press the metrics button by accident, it is in this screen you can easily delete the entry by tapping the X button to the right of that timestamp. You can head back to the main screen by tapping the X button on the upper right corner of any student's metrics screen. Saving all data. EyeOnMetrics is designed to be a fast and easy way to store student performance data. You can close and reopen EyeOnMetrics on your device, and the data will be stored and ready to use by you. Remember that the data is stored in your Internet Cache folder, so deleting this folder will erase all the data you entered in the app. If you wish to save all the data you entered so far, including observation lists, names, and data metrics, simply press the Download All Data button at the top of the home screen, and all of your data will be downloaded to your device. Feel free to save this data or open it in a data management app like Excel or Sheets to use for assessment and evaluation. Summary data sheets. Summary data sheets are a useful way to display a summary of observed metrics for each student. You can use this data for various purposes, such as student conferencing sessions, triangulation of data, report card commentary, or parent-teacher interview sessions. To access summary data sheets from the home screen, just long press on a student's name, and you will see the summary sheet displaying all entered data about the student for that observation list, including timestamps of all the metric data, absence history, and a list of any notes you have entered for that student. These can be downloaded or printed to display or share with parents using any of the buttons at the top of the screen. To return to the main screen, tap the X at the top right of the summary data sheet. And that's it. EyeOnMetrics is ready for you to use in the classroom. I recommend that you download your app data at key points of the teaching year, like at the mid and end points of the semester or term. You can then delete any or all of the observation lists from the app and create new ones at the start of your next teaching term. I hope you enjoy using the app, as it was created to assist teachers in documenting important observational data for every student in their learning journeys. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about EyeOnMetrics, you can contact me at cpdsresources@gmail.com.